Hi, I can't believe that I'm saying this. Yesterday I started my third round of IVF. This time I'm not sharing eggs because it is my last chance to try this all out. So I am paying for a full round. Oh, come on, tell me the date. It was the 17th of January yesterday, 2022, and I went to the clinic. It was hard going in there. After the last time I was in there, I was told I had a miscarriage, but I went in there and I had my scan. It was the same guy, the doctor was the same guy that told me that I had a miscarriage. And so my right ovary had 18 eggs and my left had 16, and I started injecting last night, the one that you do every evening, and then Friday I think I'll start my morning injection as well as my evening injection. So yeah, I'm in isolation for just under 3 weeks and I am going through my round of IVF again. I will be using old footage as well as new footage because I'm not taking my camera or anything like that into the clinic, whereas I have done in the past, and it's exactly the same thing. So you'll just see that. But yeah, that's a good quantity of eggs, 34. So obviously I don't expect 34 to fertilise, or even probably, I'm sure it will go down and down each time, like each scan. But anyway, so 34 for now. We'll just see what happens, and hopefully have 2 to put back in again, because I had a double pregnancy in August, miscarried in end of I miscarried October but found out end of September. So yeah, let's do this again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start by looking at the lining in your womb. So this is your womb, and in the middle here is the lining.
Yeah.
It's what we call a triple line endometrium growing, so that's good. So there's some egg activity somewhere.
Good.
And then indeed there is. So this is now your right ovary.
Yeah.
They go through basically and measure each egg to see the size of it, and I guess get the quality of it from there. But yeah, she definitely measures the size. Over to the left.
Yeah.
So before I FaceTime my mum, I'm going to show you how to set up the injection. So this is my evening injection. So it's Gonal F is what I have. And it's a bit like an EpiPen is how I would say it is. So see there, it says 0. For me, the dosage is 225. So what you do is you just twist this up until it gets to 225. Then we take off the lid and it looks like that. For me, it's got 2 dosages worth in it. Then in here it's got all of the needles. So you just peel off that bit, which can go in the bin. And then you just screw on this. Still at 225. And you take off the cap, and then you're left with the green needle, which you peel off, which has got the injection in it. And then obviously the 225 still stays there, and then the rest, we take the needle off, put that in the sharp spot afterwards, and then put this back on and put it back on and put it back in the fridge. Okay. Can you see? Smiley face. Pinch the skin. Come on.
Remember, at an angle.
It is at an angle.
It's quite straight down, that.
It's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm bleeding. Thank God for my IVF journal. Well, it's not, it's just my bullet journal. I've just wrote it in here. I did this round quicker than my last 2 rounds. So obviously this could completely be different to you. You could also be on different injections. So please bear in mind in that. But I've just shown you my evening injection. Also, I'm needle phobic if you didn't know that. So this is really hard going for me, hence why I lay down. And my mum is on the phone. So you do, well, I did 4 days of this injection, of just in the evening. And the same dosage throughout for that one. And then the next one is, I'm going to show you, is the morning injection. And I do that at 7:30 every morning, except the first day I did it in the clinic and I did it at 9:55 a.m. But yeah. And I forgot to say, the reason I go into the clinic is because every 4 days they rescan you to check that your body's doing what it should be doing. So before you get the morning injection, you want to get my scan from, well, it was back in March, April time, and it shows you how big the eggs have got in my ovaries. Then they decide to start the morning injection. So it's a bit like that, but it's just touch and go. It depends how well you're doing in the cycle, what they want to do really. But yeah, here we go.
Okay, so uterus.
Yep.
And then endometrium sitting there nicely. 7.5, that's good.
Okay. Then this is when it gets crazy, because you will see the difference in the sizes of my eggs, where the injections have made them all grow. They're huge, as you can tell.
Little small ones here.
Yeah. My left ovary is my worst, weaker side.
It might be the positive one then.
But you never know.
Be the one that produces that good egg.
I've got endometriosis, and that's always down my left side, and that's...
You've got 6 there, but 4 big ones and 2
Okay.
little ones.
morning injection is a bit complicated because you have to, as you can see, all the parts are there, but you have to take it apart. You have to put the fat needle on first, then you have to syringe the liquid out of the syringe into the powder, stir the powder and make sure it's all dissolved, put it back into the injection, and then make sure there's no air bubbles in it, and then you need to switch the needle out, put the needle in that goes into your stomach, and then put it into your stomach. They all have to go in the fridge as well. And then I did that for 6 days I did of that, and then I did my trigger injection on the 6th day. I didn't do the evening one, I did the trigger injection instead, but that will be shortly. So evening injections, so I do the morning one, but I still do the evening one, and I'm sure, let me just go back to the page, it's for 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days, and then I get my trigger injection. And after them 5 days, I go back to the clinic and they rescan me, check that I'm all good for the trigger injection. The trigger injection takes place 36 hours before egg collection, and the clinic book you in for that. You're sedated for egg collection, and then they retrieve all your eggs, and the embryologists do their magic by mixing them together and making little babies. My trigger injection might not be for everyone, but it's a bit like the morning injection, where you have to syringe up some of the liquid to the amount they tell you to inject, and then you have to switch needles again. So it's a bit of a pain in the backside, but it works at the end of the day. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Putting one needle on the fat needle first, syringe up the amount, then switch the needles, and then get ready to inject. Final one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 36 hours after the trigger, I then go back into the clinic, and I go in, I think I went in at 9 and it was 9:40 my egg collection, and they get me ready for theatre. They do like my blood pressure, check I'm not at blah blah blah. I get into the gown and I go into the theatre, and then my dad came to pick me up, I think, or was it my mum? I can't remember, one of them. Once I'd recovered, I'd ate some biscuits and I was good to go. And then it's all down to the embryos and how they work and whatever. And so the embryologist rings you that afternoon and tells you an update on your eggs, and what's fertilised, what's not, what's good, what's bad, blah, blah, blah. And then they tell you they're going to fertilise them. Then the next day they ring you again with an update and they say such and such have fertilised. So for me it went from 18, I know it was at 34 at first, but then they took out 18 and then it went to 16 the next day. And then they said they're working really well, you won't have to have a day 3 transfer, you can have a blasto transfer, which is a day 5 transfer. So can you come in at, I can't remember the time, it was 11 some, no it wasn't, it was 10 something I think, and have your blasto transfer. And that's all I knew until I got there and they told me I could have whatever I could have put back in. I've been meaning to film this for weeks but keep forgetting. But on the 2nd of February 2022 I had this embryo, so baby placenta, and this embryo implanted into me, so baby placenta, I think, I can't really remember. So that's them ones, but I wanted to show you the comparison to what I've had before. I know these aren't going to be helpful because the rest are on one page, but this is the last 2, so from August. You can see these 2 are the ones that went in, so they are completely different, but obviously one of these, well, both of them gave me positive, but one of them developed to a baby that I miscarriage. And then before that, they were both blasto, and this was a day before a blasto, and look how completely different it is. And then to put this one into, you can see the difference. Come on, babes, mummy loves you. Good morning, it is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. 6:39 in the morning and I'm about to do my pregnancy test. I've been up on and off since 4 because I'm kind of slightly excited, nervous, I don't know. So I'm going to just go wee in this pot again, and then do this. I can't open it. Do that once I've done that. Now I'm super nervous because I've had symptoms, but when I had symptoms the first time, like I couldn't even open the fridge, it was a negative, so I'm really nervous. And obviously last time I miscarried. Here goes. My god, oh my god, I want to wake my mum up, but she's not going to be. actually. Right, so this come up super quick. So if it's twins, then that's probably why. If not, it could just be one, because one, even though it was a twin pregnancy last time, one was the one that they could see. Straight away, a really, really big blue line. I am pregnant. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Well, I can, but I can't, because I'm just now worried for the next 4, so I mean 5, 6, 7, 3 more weeks. I'm just going to be worried, but I don't think I'm going to get my scan until the week after. In fact, let me get one of these to wipe down. Oh my god. Happy Valentine's Day to me. Oh, let me just wash my hands. I can't believe it. Like, I'm so happy. I'm just nervous at the same time.